So, you're a school teacher, and suddenly you're a at-home school teacher. Now, what do? Well, come join us on our adventure.
Hi, I'm JT.
And I'm DT, and these are our adventures
Join us as we travel
as we help our community.
and just enjoy life.
So, you're a school teacher, and now you're a stay-at-home school teacher. Well, because of the shelter-in-place rules that we have throughout the nation, a lot of us teachers, us classroom teachers, have become stay-at-home classroom teachers. Well, let me show you some of the solutions that I have for my stay-at-home classroom. Here I have my little studio that I've set up in a spare room. Now, there's lots of stuff in here, but let me tell you some of the most essential things that I've found. I'm going to start with my background. Well, this is a shower curtain that I've been using in my classroom for years. It's kind of as the periodic table, of course, but also as just kind of a fun little thing to stick in the corner. Sometimes we do some things like in our forensic class when we do blood spatter type experiments. This helps protect the rest of the room from all that mess that we're going to make. And I think that's one of the most important things that I've done is put something behind me that's interesting. Yes, there's a green screen behind it, and green screens are fun and exciting, and you can put really cool pictures behind it. But what I want is I want my kids to be in a familiar environment and recognize something from the classroom. So here's my computer. This is a MSI Creator Series. It's a pretty high-powered computer, but you don't need a super high computer or powered computer to get out there and communicate to the kids. I did it off of my old iPhone the other day, but you'll notice that I do have a dual monitor setup, and also for audio, kind of hanging out here. This is a Shure 55, Elvis style microphone. The reason I use that, because it's cool looking. It doesn't give the greatest sound, but it does a pretty good job. I actually have used a little Yamaha MG10XU mixer. This is going in, it is a USB mixer, so it goes into the computer, and it is actually also a great sound card, and so I'm able to patch in different things. Now, do you need that? No, of course not. So here is a really kind of low-tech version of getting sound somewhere. And so what I've gotten is a little Y patch cable that has a microphone input and also a headphone output. I've connected a headphone to it. I have just a little single one, but any headphone's going to work okay. And a lavalier microphone. This one has the fuzzy thing on it, affectionately called a dead cat, to cut down on wind noise and pops and stuff like that. But this does a heck of a good job of just getting the sound in there. Also, it kind of isolates the sound so that I can hear what's happening in the headphone, not only what I'm saying, but also what's in the background, and it just helps me a little bit better. And so one of the recommendations I would say is get a pair of headphones, and when you're listening, make sure you're using those headphones. Now, a lot of phones nowadays come with headphones that have a microphone built into it. Utilize that. You already have it. All of this stuff I pretty well have had for a long time, not planning for this, just, hey, I have a problem, let me find a solution. So let's talk about camera solutions. Yes, you can use the webcam that comes with your computer. It's a good little webcam. One of the problems, though, that I see is people sit with it with their head chopped off or so much light behind them that you just can't see anything. So what I've chosen for my camera solution is an old Canon. This is a T2i. That's an old camera. You can find them really cheap on eBay and places like that. This is just a good old standby camera that I've had for a long time. On it, I've got a looks like a 24-200, I think it is. I'm sorry, 28-135 lens. I don't need that big of a lens. 135 is, that would focus way too closely, but that 28 kind of gives me a nice wide angle shot. In the background, that's a Canon M50 wireless camera. Now, I do use this occasionally, and I'll show you a really quick way to get that to act like a webcam for your computer. So what I've done is I have set my computer up using a software called SparkoCam. All of these things I own. I get nothing telling you about these things. These are just resources that I have. And the SparkoCam is really cool that it will take the USB connection out of my Canon T2i and basically turn it into a webcam. Now, when you go to do that, there are all kinds of connections. You can go out through the HDMI and stuff like that. But one of the problems is that Canons do not put out what's called a clean HDMI signal. They will have all of the metering, all the picture stuff, all the information stuff there. And you have to go through menu after menu after menu to get rid of those things. But SparkoCam does a really good job of just taking it straight out. And so I'm pretty sold on this one. Also, there's another software that I've been using, which is called ManyCam. SparkoCam is a PC Windows operating system program. ManyCam is both Windows and Mac compatible. I have used the ManyCam several times. It's a great product also. So this is the SparkoCam. I'm using my Canon camera. It chooses the T2i. I can actually take a picture of myself. It'll take a picture and save it later. Also, down here underneath my picture, and you can see it better there, there's a little recording button, and I can actually record very quickly, take a picture, whatever I need to do. But once I'm starting to record, this is the whole screen. Everything is getting recorded, not just that one little section. So if I do something different, then I go there. So there's several choices in the menu. This one, the licensing is based on either a Canon camera, or a Nikon. I don't have a Nikon, so I don't have that license. Here's the web camera section. So here's a web camera. This is actually off of my here we go. This is actually off of my M50. It's at 640 by 480. I need to probably investigate how to make it a little bit bigger. It's a little bit small coming in there. But also in here, this is all of my webcams. So on the side, I've made myself a little document camera. So if I need to put something out there, I just took an old webcam. This is an old C615, which is kind of hard to find webcams right now. But I had it laying around, and now I can have a little webcam there. Put a little background in there. This is our motto for the year. Be like Gumby. Be flexible. But here's my webcam off of my computer. Notice where I move the screen is where I'm going to show up in the picture. So there's always an old rule, what's called the rule of thirds. And so with the rule of thirds, we try to divide the screen up. And so we get different, different moods depending on where you're sitting in the screen. And the last one is, of course, back to the M51. I like this one because it makes me look skinnier. I can also do things with the desktop. I can choose applications. This one, if I drag over, ooh, I get a really cool picture. Maybe I don't want the desktop. I can also show video, which I don't have any in there. I can have a picture. Here's very exciting pictures of me. And I can have a blank image and pick colors. All of those just doing different things. So regardless of the platform you use, if you're doing, Schoology, Edgenuity, Zoom, all kinds. I mean, there's just tons and tons and tons of things out there. Basically, what this software does is it emulates the webcam. So whenever I go into it to start a meeting or a conference or whatever your program uses as its nomenclature, then I can, I have the ability to switch through several different things, maintaining control over what's happening on the screen. There has been some cases of some of the software where hackers have gotten in and taken over the conference and stuff like that, and started writing things on whiteboards and that. So what I've chosen to do, even though that might be a feature that's in there, I can do that basically inside this software. So here's the interface for Manycams, which I really kind of like. You have a timeline kind of down here at the bottom, where if I choose, I can do transitions from one to another. Also, I can go to the desktop. There's all kinds of neat little things here that I can choose from. Cameras, games, IP camera, mobile apps. I can actually link my phone to this and kind of do a remote feed from there. Media files, YouTube, desktop. I can go to an application, blank image, web source. One of the neat things about this is the RTMP servers, where if I'm going to do something live, like if I want to broadcast live to something like Facebook or YouTube, I can get the RTMP values and do that as a live event. Also on the side, there's a whole bunch of stuff in the menu, kind of hard to see, but audio. Here's a drawing tool. I can use, it has a clock. I can do the chroma key, of course. I can do the lower third. Lower third's kind of neat. It adds a kind of like when you watch a news cast where it has the person's name or a scroll bar across the bottom. It adds that kind of feature to it. There's effects, a lot of fun things to do. Gallery and favorites, all kinds of neat little features in this little program. So I do kind of like this one. One thing that this program does not do is it does not take my Canon T2i and bring it in as a camera using the USB connection. I can get my M50 coming in through its HDMI connection, and for that I'm using a little box, StarTech box, that will take that HDMI signal and change it into a USB signal. Now you'll notice that when I move, sometimes a little white box pops up there. That's the autofocus for that Canon trying to find me. So sometimes that's good, sometimes that's not so good. I'd have to go into the Canon and turn that feature off. There, that little white box pops up. So that's one of the problems with the clean HDMI signal from a Canon. Now there's video recorders and different cameras that do send out clean HDMI, and so that might be something you want to pursue. So that's kind of what I use to produce all of my work for my students. We do a lesson. I do a video. One of the things that I like about both SparkoCam and with the Manycam program is that you can record. Now, one of the nice things about SparkoCam is it seems to be pretty stable. It does an okay job at recording. I haven't had any issues with it. One of the problems that I have is that it is a WMV file format, which makes it kind of tough on a Macintosh to preview it and stuff like that. You have to toss it into something else to look at it, because natively my Macintosh just won't play it. The neat thing about the Minicams is that it stores in MP4. So both of them have good things. The Minicam, depending on the computer, if it's an older one and not a lot of horsepower, can be a little bit glitchy if you do longer type movies with it. But it's not really anything horrible or anything like that. It's just that it's one of those things, you might have to do it a couple of times before it comes out the way you want it to happen. We do a live chat daily, and I'm kind of more considering it just making sure the kids are okay. It's great to educate them and keep them educated, and we don't want to do that summer slide, but I want to make sure, these are kids that I've had in my classroom all year long that I want to make sure are still safe and still, okay. And so we kind of chat every day. Sometimes it's not necessarily, what we're covering on that topic. Sometimes it's just a silly question. Do you like pineapple on your pizza? Here in the Southwest, should you put green chili in your macaroni and cheese? Questions like that, just to get them to be a little more comfortable and a little more happy, and make sure that they know that it's okay for them to talk to me, and it's not going to be this drudgery of just, I have to learn about this, because sometimes we just got to make sure we take care of the kids also. They're learning, but they're also learning that people are compassionate and want to take care of each other. So I hope everybody is safe, and I hope everybody is doing the best that they can. Congratulations to all your teachers in changing so quickly from your usual workplace to your shelter-in-place. And so continued luck with you, and we'll see you later. As always, if you liked this video, thumbs up. And if you didn't, 2 thumbs down. Have a good day.